Let's kick it. Ice, ice, baby.
Hi, fans. Welcome to Inside the Igloo, the inside look into the Jacksonville Icemen hockey team. And glad you could be with us here today as we're going to be announcing the newest signing for the Jacksonville Icemen hockey team for the 2020-2021 season. I know last week we had Nathan Perkovich. I know fans got excited about that, so we decided to do the same format here and let this segment be a way to find out who the next edition will be for the upcoming season. And I can tell you, I think you're going to like this one. It's a returning player, another big signing, let's say. And we're going to meet that individual in just a moment. But again, thanks for tuning in. Should be a lot of fun here today as we welcome in this player. And at this time, I think we build it up right now. I think it's time to meet that player. I know everyone just wants me to get to the point. So we're going to do that right now. So at this time, newest signing, go ahead and reveal yourself. It's Jacob Cedarholm, everyone.
How's it going?
What's up, Jacob? Welcome back, my friend. And I know fans right now are like, yes, Jacob's coming back. It's great to see a familiar face. How are things going with you?
Things are great. I'm doing really, really good here in Florida. I love the weather, and I'm really excited that I got this opportunity here again with the Icemen. So I'm excited.
Well, I know we're excited to have you back, and the fans as well. And you mentioned you're in Florida right now. I know you hail out of Sweden, and you grew up there, but you've really kind of taken a liking here to Jacksonville, and decided to kind of stick things out here when the season ended last spring.
Yeah, definitely. I could have gone home, but I decided to stay. I mean, it was a little bit of the situation now with the virus and everything, and due to that, I decided to stay, both for my own health, but like who doesn't like a summer in Florida, really? So I love it here. It was a little hard to get used to the heat in the beginning, but
Oh yeah,
I'm doing great now, and I'm enjoying every day here.
I think they say in the summers in Florida, the heat and humidity, you pay that price for the other 8 months that are just awesome here and perfect. So, but glad to see that you're adjusted. We're still glad to have you in town here. And when you look at how things happened last year due to COVID-19 and the season being cut short, I talked to some of the other guys on this show in this segment before about their thoughts on all of that, because it seemed as if in the second half of the year and around the time that was happening, the team was playing some of its best hockey of the season. You kind of felt like things were starting to turn around and push the right direction. Was it disappointing that you never really got a chance to see it through with the season being cut short?
Yeah, definitely. I think, as you mentioned, the second half after Christmas there, I think that's when our both like the group and everyone as an individual, I think that's when we bloomed out and really started to play like we should have from the start of the year. And I think more guys just became more comfortable with each other. And definitely it was disappointing, but there's just some things that are bigger than us and just bigger than sports in general. And of course it's disappointing, but some stuff that you can't do anything about. It's unfortunate, but it's the same thing for every other team, most of the other leagues too. So, I mean, of course, it's very disappointing, especially with the streak we were going on. You said everyone really felt like their individual game was getting a lot better, more comfortable, and we were producing a lot more as a team. So yeah, of course, but some things are just bigger, and I think that you have to just accept that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you were talking about kind of like the streak and the run there at the end of the year. What do you attribute the improved play in the second half of the year? Was it the younger guys finally getting acclimated to the pro style, and obviously some key additions halfway through the year, I think, such as Adam Dowda, getting Mike Hedden there down the stretch. I think some of those additions really kind of helped the team there late.
Yeah, I think we had some guys coming in and some going out, And obviously there's going to be a little time period where they adjust to the new system. It's a system that, like the system we're playing after, it's a very simple system. So I think for the new guys that did come in a little bit later in the year, I think they adjusted pretty quick. And as we did, we felt like we got more comfortable with the new guys that came in. And with that, we started building up more trust in that everyone was going to do their job. Everyone knew where everyone's going to be on the ice. And I think that because that time, the first half of the year was a lot of learning, I think, even for the guys that came back, because it's different playing with new players. And so I think that the second half of the year, I think that we definitely could trust more in each other of our system. And as I said, the simple system that we do have, but yet very, very effective, which has been proven. So I think that the first half of the year was more of a learning process, especially for the new guys that hasn't played for this coaching staff and Smurf before. And then for players that came back to kind of help out the newer guys to really get established in this type of play.
You look at some of the guys that were kind of in their first year, a guy like Bobby Lynch, you had Craig Martin. You could see a difference between those guys specifically, maybe early in the year and the second half of the year. Because second half of the year, you could just see the confidence that they had, in the second half of the year in games. Maybe something they didn't do, like try something. Maybe they didn't do it earlier in the year, but then you could see that confidence. They would try to maybe get a little bit more aggressive. And I think those were a couple of guys, great example of just maybe getting to learn the ropes. And then once they got it, you could see it come together.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's spot on, I think. You mentioned Bobby Lynch and Craig Martin. I think that Brendan Warren, he was like, same thing with him. Like he was, they all were in the beginning, as you said, they were still like trying to like get used to it and everything. But as the season went on, especially second half, I mean, Warren and Lynch, like Lynch got the call up. He was well deserved of the call up. And yeah, no, I was happy for them all because they have been trying really hard. And it is different to go in like to the professional leagues and like the East Coast League. It is a hard league to get used to, but I think that they did a great job, and they were really trying hard. So I was happy for them that second half they really pulled it off there.
You talk about adjusting, and you had to do that when you came over from Europe and in Sweden, coming over to the North American style. I mean, what adjustments did you have to make? Did it take a little bit of time because of the style of play is a little bit different?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm still learning, like even after 2 years here in North America, but it's definitely a different, no matter what system you come to over, it's still different because of the European sized rinks are bigger, the ice sheet's bigger, and it's just a little bit, it's just faster overall. You have to make decisions faster, and if you get caught in the wrong place, you're gonna have to eat it up. So yeah, there was a little bit of a adjusting period, definitely. And I said I'm still learning, still adjusting, but I think it's I'm feeling more comfortable, and I feel like I can really this season, upcoming season, can really start to see that myself as well, and to show that to the coaching staff.
Yeah, I think everyone's excited for that. I mean, I think that third season is that year where it all starts to kind of come together. And looking at your play last year, there was another thing I kind of noticed a little bit more of from you, a little bit more physical. I saw you kind of mix it up behind the play a couple of times, telling some guys, hey, you can't do that. Is that something you tried to integrate in your game a little bit, just kind of maybe be a little meaner and tougher? You're one of the nicest guys, but it's a different story. But that's something you tried to maybe bring to your game, a little bit more of a physical style.
Yeah, definitely. Like as a defenseman, I think especially for me, I want to be tough to play against, and I want it to be hard for the opponent to be in a battle with me and stuff like that, you know. And I think that, yeah, my first year I tried to figure out a lot, and then last year I did add a lot more. I feel like a lot more physicality into my game. And as I said, I think this year, upcoming year, that's what I'm excited to see for myself as well. See what I can add more to the team and more like as far as value and really night after night contribute to that and because that's the kind of player that I want to be like. And so definitely I want to be tough to play against. And you know, of course, like you have your players that you want to protect as well, like especially for me, the goalie, like I want to protect them and make it hard for the opponents to get close. So definitely.
Well, you know, and you look at your game too, and I always talk about players, maybe big moments. You know, when I ask players, what was one of the big moments of your career? I'm just going to throw a moment out there I think was probably pretty big. It was got to be in that playoff game when you had that blistering shot that went in for that goal in a packed house. That's got to be right up there because, one, it was quite a goal, but I think it blew the roof off the building with it being a playoff game. You know, where does that moment rank for you in your career?
That's definitely one of the higher ones, I would say. First of all, yeah, playoffs. But first of all, we have the fans that we had in the playoffs was absolutely, and throughout the whole season was absolutely crazy. I haven't played in anything like it. And yeah, you know what? I had been injured before that too, with my ankle, and just coming back home, I'd played a couple. I think I played 2 playoff games in. Down and against the Everblades, and then we came back home, and that's when I scored, and I'm gonna remember that for a long time. It was yeah, it was really fun, and yeah, yeah, definitely that's high up in my moments.
Yeah, I remember when Arlie Johnson and I were doing the broadcast, and we went to the first commercial break after you scored that goal, and we both looked at you and went, "Whoo!" I said, "That one had some zip on it." You know, it was a heck of a shot. So, no doubt, it was something that we remembered, and it was a big goal. Obviously, we had such a good start in the return of playoff hockey to Jacksonville then. So, but looking at that thing with you, you know, Seeds, when you look at you know, your contribution on the ice. You know, one of the things, and I don't, you know, I'm certain some of the fans noticed it when we would post it, but you and several other players on the team really contributed off the ice. I remember several events that you went to. There's different organizations. I know the ARC is one that you guys would visit, and they loved having you guys come over. I know one of our partners in, you know, North Florida Cancer Specialist. You went and made some trips there to, you know, yeah, as people were getting their treatments, you just kind of stopped by, you and some teammates, to kind of put a smile on their face. I know that's something that, you know, it's something that I know you're passionate about. You were our nomination for the ECHL, you know, Community Service Award because of those things. So is that something that means to you to give back to the community? It certainly seems that way. That's something that's very important to you.
Definitely, it definitely is. And like with the schedule we have, yeah, when we're on the road trips and we go out of town, there's not much room to do that. But when we're at home and just practice, we have so much spare time. And whenever we have spare time, of course, I need my time to recover and just to be myself, you know. But I mean, as much as I can give back, I will. To just see just how fortunate I am. I'm healthy. I play hockey for a living. I live in Florida. It's crazy how fortunate I am. And I think that we get so caught up in life sometimes, and there's just so much going on, and we forget how fortunate we are. And for me to be able to give back to the community and to go and whatever it might be, just a little thing, I'm gonna do it every time I get the opportunity. So definitely, it's super important to me because I know that how much it's appreciated. So that's
It is,
definitely
yeah.
it's very big for me.
No, no, without question. And certainly, on behalf of the team, we appreciate that as well. And it's great that you and not only just you, but I know you've been able to get some other guys to go with you, and they go, and you can see that wow, how fulfilling it was for them as well. So that's certainly something that's great, and we look forward to setting some things up for you here this year.
Awesome.
You talk about too. You just mentioned you need time to recover. And, I think it's maybe important for maybe some of the fans to understand when you guys have to play those, as they call the 3-and-3s, the 3 games in 3 nights. And sometimes with us last year, we had to play 4 games in 5 days. It does take a toll on the body. And I know you can see it, in that last game of that set, maybe the 3rd period, you can see the legs just quite aren't there. And it is tough. There's a reason why the NHL doesn't play 3-and-3s, but at this level you do. So it is tough, I think. But what are some of the keys maybe to recovering when you you've already played 2 games on a Friday and Saturday, and then you got a Sunday afternoon game in a short turnaround?
I think the most important parts is definitely just listening to your own body, listening to what you need, and then eat right and sleep, get your sleep in. I think that it's hard too after games. I know some guys have a hard time going to bed right after games because they're so still high on adrenaline and they're still feel like it's hard to cool down after games because of everything that's going on in the game. But for myself, definitely I need try and get as much sleep as possible, and then just eat healthy, eat what feels good, and then after, make sure before every game and practice you warm up so you don't increase the risk of injuries, and after games, after practice, just cool down your body, go on the bike, go stretch, do whatever you need. We have a bunch of opportunities and to do. We can go we have a cold tub, a hot tub, bikes, and rollouts. So we have everything that at least I need, and I think most of the guys need for your body to recover. So I think it's just important to understand that there's more just to it than just going out and playing. And I think it's easier for older players to understand that because they've already been through everything. I learned a lot. I learned a lot, especially this year or past season, from John Albert. He's seen it all. He's been in the NHL, he's been in the AHL, and the East. He's seen everything. And just to have a guy like that, he's an awesome guy off the ice too. Super, super great guy. So for me to just learn as much as possible from him and hear what he had to say, what works for him, and how he tried out everything with recovery and everything. It was interesting, and I think that we have younger players as myself and many others have a lot to learn.
Without question. I asked the college guys that question, and after a few weeks, they say that's one of the biggest adjustment is they usually just play on the weekends, maybe 2 games a week. And he's like, yeah, it's definitely the workload. I think they play a total of maybe 38, 40 games, and now they're playing 72. He says it's definitely the workload of games, which is a big adjustment for them. So it's always interesting to hear that perspective. Jacob, when you're growing up Sweden and all that, I always ask guys who are some of their influences? What players did they like growing up? Sweden's, they're okay. They're okay in hockey. They've pumped out some good players. So, is there any players that you liked growing up, in the NHL, or maybe someone that played in Sweden?
Yeah, definitely. The guy I think that I look at a lot from being from Sweden is Victor Hedman that plays for Tampa Bay. He has a more offensive game to it, which I don't have, but just his defensive game and how simple he plays and how he uses his body to just eliminate situation it's cool to see. He's a big body too, so I think that his way to play is what I want to try and achieve as far as defensive game. which is my first priority. Is my defensive game, and just watching him and see how effective he is. It's really learning. Like, you learn a lot just to watch, especially now in the playoffs too. Just to see how simple they do play. It's not always that fancy. Like, it's just playing a simple game and get out of your zone and then put the puck in the other net, right? So
That's it.
that's definitely like my first priority is to play simple, and I think he's a great guy that I can look up to and definitely try and put into my game as well.
He's one of the best. There's no doubt about it. And you can see that here at these playoffs as well. What do you think of the playoffs so far in the NHL? I don't know how much you've got to see it, but the bubble play, the bubble format. What have you thought about everything up to this point?
I mean, the whole structure and concept of everything is, I mean, no one would have thought that starting the season in any leagues, for that matter. But I mean, I think it's cool. We're adjusting, and just to watch the games, obviously, it is different because fans in playoffs are usually what most players would. I mean, they would do anything for it. So I think it's definitely different, but then again, you have to look at what they can achieve, and that's the Stanley Cup. So I think it does play a lot that there's no fans, but at the same time, they're still competing for the same price, it's the same Stanley Cup. So it's definitely different, but still super fun to watch. As I said, you can learn a lot from it, and just to see how simple the game is and how physical it is, playoffs compared to regular season. So it's very interesting. I like watching it.
Yeah, without question. It's been a lot of fun. It's something, it's sports, and it is a step in the right direction, which is great. And I think we're all enjoying it right now. Well, outside of the rink seeds, what do you do? What does Jacob Cederholm do when he's not at the rink, in his spare time? And I know you I love this town a lot, but what are you up to when you're not doing hockey?
Right now I'm doing a little bit of schoolwork that I do is still from Sweden. So some classes I do there, but then I'd say, and on obviously working out, preparing for next season. But I think the most thing I'm doing right now is fishing, to be honest with you. I picked up fishing since the virus started. I said to myself, I can't just be sitting in all day after I work out and do my school stuff. I have to get out. I mean, it's so beautiful outside, so I need to really take advantage of it. And I mean, every day, pretty much, I go out and try to fish some, and whether it's sunrise or sunset, I mean, it's just beautiful here. So not just for the sport of it, but it's so peaceful and nice out. So I think that I've found my little thing that I like doing here, definitely.
Any luck? You pulled anything in fishing?
Yeah, I did. I did pull some nice ones in, and same thing there. You learn a lot. You go out and start, and you have to put in some hours before you catch them.
Without question, it's a patient man's game, as they say. So, well, listen, Jake, before I let you go, obviously, we're so excited to have you. I'm certain the fans echo that sentiment as well. So one thing that we're doing right now for the fans is to kind of celebrate your return is we're going to be auctioning. It's live right now. Go to our website, jacksicemen.com. There's also more information on our social media. But we've got an auction going right now of a basket for Jacob's favorite things. It's going to include some gift cards, some other little items, and maybe some things that you like to do. You mentioned fishing and all that, but it's also going to have some other cool swag that I think you got with you right now. I know it's going to be a autographed card, a puck, and then your game helmet from last year it's signed as well. You got that? Yeah, I think you got it with you.
Yeah, I'm going to sign it here real quick, so I'm doing it right now.
Perfect. Yeah, I know people are going to be real excited about that.
All right, here's the
nice
helmet.
addition. There it is. That's going to be part of the Jacob's favorite thing basket. Again, that's available for auction right now up until Friday. So, yep, got the card signed, the puck. So, and some other things, some gift cards as well. More information, go to jacksonvilleicemen.com. Check out our social media platforms to get the link as well. And get some cool Jacob Cedar Home swag, as he is back for another season here in Jacksonville. And make certain you get your bid in on that. Well, Jacob, listen, this has been a great chat. It's always a pleasure. Look forward to working with you again. And I know everyone is excited to have you. And, let's get this thing going here.
Yeah, likewise. It's going to be, I'm really excited to get this going, and obviously super excited to be back in Jacksonville and play for the Icemen.
Perfect. Well, thanks again, Jacob. We'll be seeing you soon. And that'll wrap up this edition of Inside the Igloo. I've been your host, Alex Reed. We'll have more installments of this segment coming up. Again, check out that auction right now. Get some cool Jacob Cedar Home swag. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.
Let's kick it.